Alright, we're at the iBuzzPro.com, your iBuzz Pro login. Just log in there. You go to members only. Click access iBuzz Pro. It auto-filled my login information. Log in. Going to Campaign Central. Add a campaign. This is your terms of service. Scroll down. You agree, I agree. Campaign type, live and answering machines is generally what I use. Campaign name is 18 September 08, number 2. Run date is September 18th, 2008. Start time is going to be 5 p.m. End time is going to be 6 p.m. I'm going to use my time zone, which is Eastern time. Touch tone transfer, that's the number that they can transfer to, is going to be 1. Touch tone remove, if they want to be removed from the list, they can use 9. And you have to pay attention to this because depending on if you're using pre-recorded messages, they already have these numbers selected, so you want those numbers to match your recorded messages so there's no errors. Caller ID is a local number that I have here in Virginia. Transfer number is the same number. That's what number they're gonna go to when they hit 1 during the phone call. I want to report when it completes. Sent to my email. Click next. The available messages, you can select a message that you've either made or one that's pre-made. I'm going to go with the pre-made ones from iBuzz Pro. This is a live answer, so I'm going to select the live answer. It's going to start talking right now. It lets you listen to the message you selected. For the answering machine, I'm going to use iBuzz Pro answering machine, and it's going to start talking again. That's just so you can review the message to make sure that's the one you want to go out. Obviously, you can upload your own messages there. Click next. And it asks which list you want to upload. I don't have the one I want here, so I have to go find it. On my iBuzz Pro leads folder. 1001 to 3000 is the list I want to use, and I'll just type it 1001 to 3000 and I'll load it. It asks you what column to select the numbers. If you didn't clean your list up like I have, you're going to have their address, their name, and you just select the right radio button above the correct column that includes the phone numbers. Then you hit next. If you want to scrub it against the do not call list, keep that checked. iBuzz Pro has its own do not call list. That's the one that's probably, if you have fresh leads, that's probably the one you want to keep checked. Randomize the list. Just keep it all checked. I normally just keep it all checked. What it'll do now when I press next is scrub the list. It takes a little time to do this. Normally 10 or 15 seconds it's going through and bouncing them off the do not call list. Out of 3,000 numbers, 231 of them were do not call, national do not call. I'm sorry, that's the internal. That's the iBuzz Pro do not call list was 231. The national do not call list was 833. Disconnected numbers there was 11 of them. Unique numbers, 1,925 unique numbers out of 3,000. In general, I find a decent list will be about 66% of the numbers will end up being dialed after you scrub them and remove the disconnected numbers. Click next. And this is your current update. I'm not adding another list, so I just skip this step. Update the campaign. And this is your page that shows you basically everything that's going on with it. Your database, you go down, make sure everything's correct. You want it dial in on 18 September at 5 o'clock, which is about 11 minutes from now. You want it to end at 6 o'clock. You got about 1,800 numbers to dial, 1,900 numbers. Those are correct numbers. Current status, you want to schedule it. So it's going to run. If you leave it pending, it won't ever start. So I have to select the number of lines. I want to do a pretty, I want to make sure all the calls get out. So I'm just going to max it out at 50. If you need more lines, you can talk to iBuzz. They'll open up more lines for you. 50 is going to be plenty to get 1,900 calls done within an hour. So that's what I'm going to leave it at. And that is it. I'm looking for a button to click out of here. So now I have a scheduled campaign starting in 10 minutes. It's going to use 50 lines. What it'll do in real time, I'll pull these other ones off because they were just test campaigns. As you watch this in real time, it'll update each, as it dials, it'll update how many transfers, how many voicemails, how many live answers you had, how many answering machines you connected to, and how much money was spent. As you can see, I only have $8.19 left in my balance, so I have to go bump that up in the next 8 minutes. So I will be back and show you how it goes.